All right, good afternoon. Thank you everyone for being here. We are at our weekly live YouTube sessions here at Alignment Rockford. My name is Jessica Hayes and I am the Work-Based Learning Coordinator with Alignment Rockford. With me today, I have Darcy Dunn. She is the principal at Fairview Early Childhood Center. And then I have Angela. Angela is an early childhood teacher at Roosevelt Early Childhood at Roosevelt School. And then I have Jessica Hendon, my friend who is going to help us co-moderate today. She is President of Physical and Information Security at Blackhawk Bank. So thank you all for being here today. I really appreciate it. Darcy, let's go ahead and start with you. If you can give me a background of what you do and where you came from and kind of give us a little bit about your story and how you got started and where you are today.
Okay, I'm Darcy Dunn. I'm the principal at Fairview Early Childhood Center, and I began my journey with RPS in 1999 as an art teacher. After doing that, I went on to get my master's degree in curriculum and instruction, and then I decided that I would enter a principal training program after about 5 years of teaching. So I received my ADS from NIU, and I became an assistant principal in my 10th year in RPS at RISA, or RISA Environmental Science Academy, where I worked for 5 years. And then I was invited to the principalship and I became a principal at Fairview in 2010, where I've been ever since. So I'm originally from Ottawa, Illinois. But
Wow.
once I got my position in RPS, I loved it so much, I just decided to make Rockford my home. And so I've been here ever since with my family.
I'm sorry, are you guys there? I'm sorry, you guys were having a little bit of internet issues today. I do apologize for that. Angela, and how you got to where you are today?
My name is Angela Keller. This is my 7th year with RPS. I worked at a daycare for 14 years. And then I got my master's in early childhood and got my first position in early childhood at Bayer Early Childhood Center. I stayed there for about 5 years. It was awesome. And then I moved to Roosevelt, where I currently am. And I also obtained my ESL endorsement while I was at Roosevelt. I have lived in Rockford my whole life. I went to Rockford Public Schools. My children are seniors this year. They also go to Rockford Public Schools. So yay, RPS.
How are your seniors doing? Are they ready for the school year to be over?
They are ready for the school year to be over. It's been a challenge for both of them in different ways. One social emotional, one academically, but we're getting through. So. Yep.
Couple more weeks, right?
8 more weeks.
Well, great. Thank you both for telling us. Yeah, thank you both for that information. I really appreciate it. Angela, can you tell us something that excites you about your job? What excites you about what you do every day?
100% what excites me is the social emotional learning. I love teaching the kids about their emotions, about how to verbalize their emotions. I love teaching them the emotional vocabulary that they need to express themselves. That is 100% that's where my heart is teaching these kids about how to manage their feelings so they can better work together. So as they get older, they can have better relationships with their teachers, with future adults, with their parents, with everybody. So the social emotional learning is 100% where my heart is, and it excites me every day. So
I can hear that in your voice.
Yes, it is. Exciting. It's very close to my heart. Very, very close. So
that's awesome.
I feel strongly about it.
Darcy, how about you? Can you tell us a little bit about what excites you about your job every day?
Sorry, I'm on mute. Absolutely. Getting to see our smiling students' faces every day, and just we're so grateful that many of them are returning back to in-person instruction.
Yes.
And being
this week, right?
Absolutely. Well, in early childhood, you can kind of go back and forth between the two as you need to, as it meets your family's needs. So we're a little bit different than the rest of the district in that.
Darcy, can you tell me a little bit about maybe a project that you worked on in the past or something that you're currently working on that's in your career field that was fun, that would be something fun to share with a student that's interested in going into this career?
Absolutely. So becoming a teacher first and learning how to work with children. And then once you perfect that and you become good at your trade and you want to make a difference and work with others and help other teachers to improve, that's kind of how I got here. So I was actually one of the teachers selected to be part of Project Real, where some teachers were funded to become administrators through a grant a long time ago, about 15 years or so ago. And so I got to move up that way with a great cohort of people. And so I've been an administrator ever since.
Awesome. Angela, can you tell us maybe a project or something fun that you worked on that a student could do if they enter into this career field?
I think just every day should be fun. So everything that we do every day, there should be joy in everything we do, whether there are challenges, but like right now, I mean, it's just something as simple as we're talking about like rainbows. We've been doing some project-based learning with just some plants, some foods that are all related to the rainbow. And just, I think really getting the kids engaged is a project in itself. So that's my goal every day, is for them to take even just a small snippet of something they didn't know before and take that home every day. It could be, we talked about carnations this week, and several of my children just did not know that word. They did not know what those flowers were. So they took that information home with them. And so that's my daily project, is just, even if it's just a tiny little bit of information, is just giving them something new every day. So.
Sounds like fun. Sounds like something every night you get to sit down and say, well, here's a new project you get to do tomorrow.
It is. It's the best job. Seriously. It's the best job.
Sounds like you're really trying to convince more people to go into early childhood
Absolutely.
education.
Early childhood is the place to be. It's a joyful
job. It's the place to be.
It's a joyful job.
And
yes.
that's great for our students. And we really want our students to hear what it is like in a day in the life of this career. What's it like every day? What is it like going to work every day? Can you kind of give us,
Sure.
Darcy, can you kind of give us, or Angela, either one, give us a little bit about what a typical day is like, and what's expectations in this career field?
Absolutely. Well, we greet our students at the bus bright and early at 7:50 in the morning, and we walk in together, and our children go to their classrooms independently, where we will do opening circle time, which consists of different activities, which Angela may want to speak about. But our day is very structured. We have small group and large group music. We have gross motor, which is gym time, where we incorporate at Fairview the Reggio model. So the prior question, we do art and sculpture and dramatics every day. So we incorporate a lot of art and music throughout our day, and that's how we teach our children. And so we sing our routines and everything. So it's a very, very positive day. Children have lunch. So we have, some students are here 2.5 hours and some are here all day.
I know I have a couple of little boys at home myself, and I remember from kindergarten, I think I still sing the PURPLE song in my head from all the years of my kids singing these songs. It's really interesting though, because they remember them. And my oldest is 10 now, and he still to this day will recite those songs that he learns in kindergarten. It's interesting when you say that that's how they learn their routine. And it's kind of fun because I see it from that personal side.
It's a lot.
Angela, you want to tell us a little bit about what is a typical day like in your environment?
I mean, Darcy definitely gave the skeleton of it all. That is definitely what our day should be in early childhood. I'm very focused, again, on emotional check-ins through the day. She talked about group time. I check in emotionally with my kids immediately when we get here. We have a small board that we use, and I ask them usually what emotion they're feeling and why they're feeling that emotion. That's a very, very important part of the start of our day. And they check in with that board throughout the day if their emotions are changing. So, but like she said, it's really important. I love the small group where we get together with small groups of children, maybe work on a specific skill, some deeper level questioning to develop those skills. But a lot of it is just we are guided by what they are interested in for the day. We might have an overall picture of what we're going to do, but I want to be guided by how the children are feeling, the things that they have experienced before they got to school in the morning, the things that they experienced on the bus. Sometimes that will guide us, and it will change our day if things have not gone exactly how they should have before school. So I use a lot of emotional check-ins with my children, and I do a lot of individualization with the children, because some children are just not going to respond the same ways that others are, especially if they've had a hard start to their day. So again, the social emotional aspect of my day is 100% the most important to me. But like Darcy said, I love the art aspect. I love singing, and the children love the singing so much lately. So again, you have to go into it with, my priority is the children and their happiness and their self-awareness of themselves, so they can continue to be successful. That's all I want for all of these children, is for them to be successful, and they need to be emotionally aware to be successful. So that's a big part of my day. And that could be just playing with them in the block area.
Yeah, and I guess that gives me the next couple of questions that we'll kind of talk about is, one, do you work in your environment a lot as teams? Is there a lot of individual work that you do? And then the second thing is if I have a student that's interested in this career, what are some things that they could do to prepare for it now? If they want to be an early childhood educator, teacher, what are some things that they could do to prepare, and what kind of skills do you think that they would need in order to be successful in this career? Angela, I'll start with you.
Okay, so if I had one word that I would give to any person who was entering this field, it would be, it's such a vague word, but it would be patience. There are so many challenges in early childhood, and there's so many challenges as teaching as a whole right now. But those challenges often have very little to do with the children. And so when you come into teaching, it's important that the priority is always the children. And the only way that children will be successful is if one of my favorite quotes is, you can't join their chaos. You need to be the calm in the storm. So the biggest skill that I think you can develop is a calm voice, a calm attitude. Just, you've got to reflect within yourself and your own emotions and be aware with yourself before you come into this field, because you really, really want to give those skills to the kids by example. So patience, always patience. And that can be challenging, but I think that comes with time. I'm not the same teacher I was 20 years ago. Patience and those kind of understandings, that comes with time. But going into it with that in your brain, it helps.
And it also kind of sounds like it's good for them to take a mentor, somebody that's in the early childhood that has been doing that career, that can mentor a student that's going into that can give them the ideas of, I wasn't this way when I was 22, I promise. This is what I was like. And, and I think giving them that guidance and that mentor on what would be a successul early childhood teacher.
I 100% would agree with that. I had two other teachers when I first worked at Bayer. I lost without them. They had more experience than I did, and I needed them to say, hey, it's hard at the beginning. but you don't get to where we are without challenges. So challenges are just opportunities to learn. And I think that's a whole nother thing with teaching. Challenges are opportunities to learn. So every
Sounds
time
like a whole nother panel, Angela.
that's a whole nother panel, but
another day, right?
Yeah.
Angela, do you get to coordinate then with your peer teachers? Do you guys work together a lot to like coordinate plans or lesson plans or how to handle the students?
Yes, at Roosevelt, there's only 2 of us. It's me and another, Angie, actually, another teacher. So yes, we are able to, because it's 2 teachers and 2 pairs, we do a lot of collaboration, which I love, because you're just constantly bouncing ideas off and you're like, oh, this didn't work, that didn't work, or this really worked. So collaboration, I think, is another huge part of early childhood that needs to be, it's a huge priority.
And then if you're that young teacher, you know, in addition to having the
Yes.
mentors, also having other teachers that you work together with.
Absolutely. I think that getting advice from another teacher, getting ideas from another teacher is one of the best things that new teachers can do. Don't be afraid to ask, because most of us, we have been in the exact same place that you have. So questions are your best friend, always.
I learned at a very young age that there's no such thing as a bad question.
Absolutely.
You know, because you just don't know. If you don't ask, then you don't know that.
I agree.
It's always
I
important to ask the question before just say, assuming, I guess.
Yes.
Darcy, how about you? Do you want to tell us a little bit about, do you do a lot of individual work and a lot of collaboration? And what type of skills or what things would you say would be good for a student to prepare to take down the same career track that you did?
Most things that I do will be in collaboration. We have a group of great leader teachers who help to make all the decisions, and you always want to have surround yourself by talented people who have different skills than you have to help run the building and make decisions. I do have to do some things individual, like observations of teachers. Some good skills to have. You have to love children, be able to work hard. You need to be a calm person, someone that doesn't necessarily get upset easily when working with young children. And we have to be mindful that behavior is often based on other things and it's not personal. So if someone would like to go into early childhood, I would recommend that they make sure before they invest in the education in early childhood and do a lot of observation and volunteer work prior to selecting this as a major.
Awesome. What are, so I'm 16, 17, 18 years old. One of the biggest questions I have is, what are my next steps? What do I do if I want to go into be an early childhood educator, or I just want to go into education and I want to know what my options are? What would you say, Darcy, to a student if they were asking you, what's the next steps? What do I do from here?
I would say see your counselor definitely, so that you can join the correct career path in your high school and start to join us. We always have students in our building from all the high schools, and you're welcome all the time, every day, to be here to observe or volunteer. And that's really going to help you to see if you like it. And I'm not going to put everyone in the easiest classroom. I want students to see the real thing and to experience what it's like to be a teacher. So we might move you to a couple of rooms during your experience, but that would be key to see what a real day looks like.
Well, I think that's important. You know, I mean, what's a true day in the life is like, because, you know, I mean, I went to college. I'm kind of doing what I went to college for, but I guess I really didn't know what I wanted to do. And I think it's really important that they get to see this is exactly what the day is like. And if that's something that doesn't interest them, then they can say, okay, maybe I might want to be a higher ed teacher, or maybe I want to be elementary instead of early childhood. There's all kinds of differences within education that they can take, and really having those true experiences give them that information to make that choice and what career path they want to go down. Angela, how about you? What would you say if a student was sitting in front of you? What the next steps are? What do I do from here?
I 1000% agree with Darcy as far as observation and getting in the classroom and seeing if it's for you. Because I taught 5th grade actually before moving to early childhood. 5th grade was not for me. It was not for me. And, you know, I worked in a daycare prior to working for RPS, and that's where I discovered that, yes, early childhood is for me. So I think that you have to give yourself, I think we put a lot of pressure on kids to make a decision about their life path immediately when they're 17 or 18. And I want to tell them it's going to be okay. You have options. Don't stress yourself out. Make sure what you're choosing is what you love. Because this is a challenging job. If I did not love this every day, it would be a challenge. I do, so I welcome the challenges. So I think that I would tell them, spend some time with your neighbor's kids. Spend some time anywhere where there's kids. I mean, just babysitting, just something so you can get exposure to different kinds of kids. And I think that it will open your eyes to whether this is for you. And like Darcy said, patience and calm it's something that you really it's a skill you have to hone over time, but it's a skill that you need to know going into it that you need. And the only way to know that you are capable of that is spending some time with children prior to making a life decision. So
and
I just wanted them.
There are some opportunities with the Park District to work in summer camps. I did that too.
Wonderful.
I was a camp counselor and a lifeguard, and a nanny. So there are certainly some jobs you can get before you become an educator that will help you to determine if you like children, if you're good at it, if the parents respond well to you, and if that's natural, you might have a career as a teacher.
Wonderful.
That's such awesome feedback and such great advice. I think you're right, is that, we really want our students to see what they're good at. Are you good with using your hands? Maybe be good in manufacturing, or if you're good with math, or, what are you good at? What do you have a passion for? There are tons of career opportunities out there for you for what's your passion. It doesn't necessarily have to be, well, this is where you should go. It's where you want to go, where you feel comfortable and what you're passionate about. So it's good to hear that from both of you, is to pick your passion, that there are opportunities in finding what your passion is. So Jessica, let's go to you real quick to see if there's any questions, if you've seen anything, or if you have another question that you would like to ask before we round up our panel here.
I haven't had any questions come through on either side. I want to say I really appreciate both of you taking the time out. It was super insightful. And I also really loved what you were talking about, finding your passion and spending some time doing a similar job. I think the Park District is actually hiring right now for this coming summer. And that's, I think, a really great example of a way to experiment to see if you like it. I went to my son's preschool class one time to read a book for the last 5 minutes of class. And it confirmed for me that that's not a job that I could ever do, and profusely thanked his teacher afterwards for what she does every day.
Well, awesome. And you guys have anything else you'd like to add? We're coming up right on towards the end here. So anything else you want to add before we end the panel today?
I don't, but teaching is a challenging but wonderful job, especially early childhood, and I hope to see more people.
Yes, and thank you, Angela.
Well, we thank you for all that you do. Yeah. Thank you for all that you guys do for our students. Thank you for being on this panel today. Thank you for teaching. I know my parents were both teachers, and I know it took a lot of patience for them over the years, for both myself and the students that they had to teach. So thank you for all you do. Thank you for being here today. Thanks, Jessica, for helping. And if we have any students that reach out after the panel, I think it's safe to say I could reach out to you guys directly if there's any mentor opportunities, or any questions that our students have.
Yes.
Absolutely. Awesome.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you so much. You guys are the best. Enjoy the rest of your day, and we'll talk again soon.
Thank you so much.
Everyone.